right, so in the news yesterday, we saw that the ICPC uncovered 908 ghost workers and recovered 942 million naira from the payroll. Now, this discovery is after this investigation that was launched in 2024, I think, after the commission detected irregularities in pension payments. So they spoke up yesterday. The ICPC says it's uncovered 908 ghost workers across at least 50 federal ministries, departments, and agencies, and is exposing a major payroll fraud that allegedly led to the diversion of hundreds of millions of naira. Here we go again. Now, the anti-graft agency said it recovered about 942 million, like I said earlier, linked to fraudulent salary payments made to fictitious workers. And the chairman of the ICPC, Musa Aliyu, said that the discovery followed an investigation, like I said earlier, and according to him, this particular investigation, this probe, has exposed serious weaknesses, he says, weaknesses in the integrated payroll and personnel information system, that's the IPPIS, and uncovered cases where senior government officials allegedly inserted the names of relatives and associates into the federal payroll, despite them not being legitimate employees, before diverting the salaries for personal gain. And the commission is also saying that the investigation identified these ghost workers spread across no fewer than 50 MDAs. So the institutions that are affected: Nigerian Police Force, the National Water Resources Authority, Federal Ministry of Works, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Power, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Federal Ministry of Health, and the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation. Now, a federal high court in Abuja has ordered the final forfeiture of that money recovered as 941 million recovered during that investigation into the 2024 IPPIS payroll scam. And in a certified true copy from that judgment, I think it was Justice Nyako, the court granted the ICPC's application seeking the permanent forfeiture of the funds to the federal government. But is that enough? How do we stop things like this from happening in the first place? Joining us from our Kano studios is the Executive Director of CISLAC, Mr. Auwal Rafsanjani. Mr. Rafsanjani, good morning and welcome to the program.
Well then, good morning.
What's going on here?
Well,
it feels like well, kudos to the ICPC really for being able to identify this issue. And when they say they start an investigation, sometimes it feels like the investigations last forever. But we've seen the product of this investigation. What are your thoughts on how this scandal in multiple ministries and departments in a country where we're trying to, tighten our belts, we're hearing from the ICPC that people of influence inserted the names of their relations and then diverted their salaries for personal gain?
So thank you very much. First, let me also commend ICPC for this, patriotic effort that they have done to uncover people who have continuously, dubiously steal public resources and render our institution useless and irresponsible. This is very worrisome and very alarming, given the publicity and widespread corruption in our country that undermine development, that undermine integrity, that has created condition for countries all over the world to begin to suspect Nigeria and Nigerians in everything we do. We have not just come out of the scandal from the one that Adeyemi and some people in the presidency were alleged to have committed, which is also another embarrassment to the country. Now we are back again to this same fraud that has been going on in this country. You recall, this is not the first time. It has been going on and nothing happens to those people that are perpetuating this. But why this is worrisome now is because institutions like the police that is supposed to be entrusted or that is entrusted with public resources, ensuring that they did not allow individual to siphon public resources, they are now alleged to be involved in this. That, for me, is a major challenge that we need to be worried with, because there's no way you can have an institution like police that is involved in this fraudulent payroll, because it's not just a criminal or financial fraud that has been committed. Like I said, it created trust deficit in our institution. Secondly, this development further confirmed that public officials, they don't even believe in anti-corruption, many of them. Because if they believe in anti-corruption, you cannot continue to undermine the country by creating this, situation that every public official now is just waiting, he or she waiting for opportunity to siphon public taxpayers' money. This, we cannot build a country like this. And then again, one of the major concerns that I think created this is because there's no periodic independent verification of personnel in both the police and the entire ministries and parastatal that we have in this country. So people just bring in and incite whoever they want to incite, including dead bodies, just like we had also in our electoral register. You've had, how much Nigerians have been complaining, why should people who are not even alive, they are still listed in our, voter register. So the same thing also, you see people who were not even recruited, who were not even staffed at all, but their names are there. So which means that we need to be doing, periodic audit of personnel and, information on every staff, that we have in this country. Secondly, I think we need to make sure that there's need to have a comprehensive, investigation on this fraud by ICPC without any powerful or institutional or political interference, because very soon you will see that some powerful people will now go and undermine the continuation of this investigation that will bring out the people that are involved because of their connection with the power or because they are connection with the party, possibly. So you need to make sure that also you allow whistleblowing legal regime to happen so that Nigerians can actually expose more of this dubious thing. And then again, even the integrated payroll need to be reviewed and need to be strengthened. This is the only way you can begin to detect some of these things. And then, more importantly, the National Assembly. Where is National Assembly? National Assembly oversight need to be improved. I think it is sad that when things like this happen, that is when you will see some people are coming to react, to begin to call for public hearing. Before then, you are supposed to carry out effective oversight to ensure that all these kind of tendencies did not happen. And I think it is important that we pay attention to first what the National Assembly should be doing in terms of its oversight. It shouldn't be just you go there and then you just take tea and come back. No, the police, they come for defense. You need to, through your oversight, you should have been able to establish how many staff that are real staff. You should be able to expunge those ones that are not there. Look, if we are going to do the work, Nigerians are capable to do the work. But because of all these personal interests, because of corruption in the system, everybody seems not to know what to do. But I can tell you that this ramification of this kind of thing is seriously eroding public confidence on our institution and our leaders, because you cannot continue to have this kind of scam. Every day is scandal in Nigeria, and when we talk about this, some people in government who benefit from the corruption, they feel uncomfortable. They think that we are just disturbing them, but we are doing it for the sake of our country, to redeem the image of our country, to redeem the image of Nigerians, because right now everywhere you go, you are actually being looking like a suspect. Nigerians don't have any value anywhere because of the everyday scandal you see in this country. Things that are not supposed to happen by our leaders, they are doing it and they think it's okay. They say it is political. So they can kill, it's political. They can steal, it's political. They can do everything. They can abuse, they can do, perpetuate impunity in all form of it. They will say it is political. We need to change this mindset about what everything that is wrong, you call it political. It is not a legitimate and legal action that you should be doing, that you should be engaging our institutions, our country, because you are downgrading the reputation of our country. We must change from this kind of way of life, of doing things. Governance should change from this kind of impunity we perpetuate, or they perpetuate, because the people that are in power are the ones who are doing that. And we thank ICPC for exposing that there are some people who are in high profile position that are perpetuating this. So, but it is a shame. Auditor General report, if you look at the Auditor General report, continuously talk about how arms and ammunition disappeared from the police, how they are not able to even bring in equipment that already have been budgeted to bring. When shall we stop all this?
Yes.
When should we stop all this?
Well, Mr. Rafsanjani, not to cut in, but I need to know where we're going to move from, where we're moving to next. Because we've heard this before. I've heard about ghost workers for years. And of course, there'll always be some investigation that went on, and then they identified the ghost workers. What I'm not clear about is what happens afterwards. Because someone was responsible, and we've seen the ICPC say that, and you just mentioned it as well, that there are people who inserted names of their friends and relations. Can the investigation into those people begin? The ICPC is also saying that this investigation showed exposed weaknesses in the IPPIS. And that's a very contentious one. What happens after showing these weaknesses? Is there some kind of adjustment going to be done to the IPPIS to make it stronger and more formidable so that these sorts of things don't happen? What happens after? And your civil society, in your view, what should the government be doing next? We've thanked the ICPC. They've done well. What are the next steps that would engender faith in our system, in our judicial system, in our investigations, in our security agencies? What steps can they take to get us to have more faith in them following this revelation by the ICPC?
Okay, first and foremost, I want to appeal to our president, Bola Tinubu, to please, encourage and support the anti-corruption agencies to do their work in this country without anybody, interfering or trying to undermine simply because he or she is connected with the party or with the government. If the body language of Mr. President empowers the anti-corruption agencies, I'm telling you, they will do more and they will go after any other person. But as long as they will say, when you belong to our party, do whatever you like, you are saying are forgiven, that kind of thing will continue to give ICPC, EFCC trouble, because they will do their work and then somebody will make a call to stop or undermine their work. So we need to continue to have an independent organization like EFCC, ICPC to do their work without political control or manipulation or interference. That's number one. Number two, there must be punishment, there must be sanction for whoever that is involved in this. If Mr. President will allow these agencies to do their work, they will go after anybody irrespective of his status or her status in the country, and they will shame him, and that naming and shaming will discourage some people who have integrity, remaining little integrity that probably they have. They will be afraid to continue to be linked with this kind of sin. Again, it is important that, like I said, we need to ensure that the recruitment process in this country is transparent and is done in a manner that Nigerians can know. Do you know that if you are looking for number of staff in a particular ministry or department, when you go, they will say it's secret. So you don't even know how many people are there. Yet we have integrated payroll system that is supposed to expose and actually prevent this kind of ghost workers. But it's like, because they are the one doing the thing, it's like they undermine that, they frustrate that to happen. So we must allow system to work if we really want to restore confidence on Nigerians. Again, it is important that the media and the civil society support the EFCC, ICPC, the other anti-corruption agencies to amplify the work that they are doing. Because it is not just the work of the anti-corruption agencies, to killing all the mess. It is our collective responsibility. We must show support. We must provide them with credible information and technical support that they needed in order to stem this kind of corruption that is going on in our public institutions. Again, the National Assembly, I'm appealing to them that they should prioritize, protecting public resources as they are doing this work. Because if the National Assembly, I believe, if they are doing what they are supposed to be doing, some people will be scared to commit what they are doing because they know the National Assembly can embarrass them, call public hearing, mention their names, and what have you. So let the National Assembly not also be doing like a good boy job, by just being silent on some of this fraud that is going on. Again, let me also say that Police Service Commission need to be also reforms. In fact, the entire police system has to be reforms. There's no way you can continue with this kind of system that we have, that you will not have a genuine reform that will, change the situation, including even the pay of the police, the recruitment, the promotion, the training, everything. You have to review everything so that you are actually having integrity in our policing system. There's no way you can have a state police with this kind of scam that is going on at even federal level. When the state, they don't even have accountability mechanism in many instances. They corner the state legislature, they corner the judiciary, they corner even the non-state actors. If you talk, they will send police, or they will send talks to harass you or to deal with you. So there's no way. If you cannot have a better example at the federal level, you will now have example in the state. So we need to do a lot to ensure that we restore our institutions from this kind of monumental fraud and corruption that is going on. If you check the budget of many of the institutions, the ministry and prestatal, you will see so many fraudulent incitement of things in connivance with some people who are supposed to oversight them. This cannot continue. If we really want to get things right, Nigerians must rise up to also expose this. And that's why we are calling on whistleblower regime protection that will enable Nigerians to have legal basis to expose corruption, because as it is now, we don't have legal framework that supports whistleblowing protection in Nigeria.
Okay. Well, Mr. Rafsanjani, that's all the time that we have to speak with you this morning. And I know that you're following up on this case. There's also the fact that the Federal High Court has ordered the final forfeiture of that money to the federal coffers. We always want to know what is he used for. There are a lot of forfeitures that have happened over the years. We'll be following up on this one, and I hope that this doesn't just get swept under the rug the way it normally does. Over the years, you hear, we found so and so number of ghost workers. Then all of us will be outraged. How could that happen? And then nothing. So the actual people responsible for this, ICPC, has done the first bit. Yes, but we need to take it a little bit further. But thank you so much, Mr. Auwal Rafsanjani, Executive Director of CISLAC, for being with us on the program.
Thank
you. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.